Greetings, Vault Hunters all across the 6 galaxies. Welcome to the Bordercast. We are live at our usual time at noon Eastern at 9 a.m. Pacific. I'm Mitsu.
And I'm Tess, coming to you every week to break down all things Borderlands.
As always, we want to take a minute to thank all of our new listeners on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and those watching right now on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Steam, or later on the VOD on YouTube. If you are enjoying the program as much as we love doing it, we would love for you to give us a big ol' like, follow, or favorite, as I'm hoping it improves what they call my streamer's luck. Air quotes there for those listening across all the platforms. MystiqueSiren's here today.
Hi, what's up? Hello, everyone. Again, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. It's good to have you back on the program. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys? Have been doing good?
Pretty good.
Been playing lots of Borderlands?
Yeah.
You have no idea. But we're going to get into that.
Yes, sounds good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good.
Oh, I was going to say, but first, the designer's cut, as we've talked about it, is out right now. It is a wonderful addition to Borderlands. People have actually been coming to me while I've been doing my sponsor streams on the official Borderlands channel and asking me if it's worth it. And here's what I'm going to tell you real quick, if you're still kind of sitting on the fence about it and wondering if it's worth it or not. Arms Race is wonderful. The new guns that get introduced in Arms Race they are all very strong. The new shields are really cool. One of them is called the Beskar. I don't think I need to tell you that reference. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. And hopefully you do, because that show is pretty awesome. There is the Plasma Coil, a gun that continues to elude me for the most part. That is just destructive as all get out. And overall, it's just a really fun experience with our previous guest on the show, Thick Fillet, doing what Graham Timmons, lead designer over at Gearbox, said was impossible. He managed to do a perfect Arms Race run. He got every loot room and every airdrop and killed the boss.
Jeez.
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
Wow.
I couldn't do it. Butterfly. Like that's
It's
like
the same way.
Trash pile.
I can't. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, seriously.
I have to get everything and look at everything and
Same.
stuff like Butterfly. Like I just go off on a tangent. I can't stop.
Same. Yeah, I'm very bad at sticking to like a specific path. I tried to learn to speedrun a game like a really long time ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, and I tried. I really did try. But I had this problem where, like, if I was streaming and trying to learn the speedrun, I get distracted by talking to people and pretty things in the game. And if I was trying to do it off stream, I would miss the people to talk to, so I get distracted by that. So then I just get distracted by cool things in the game, and it's just
Yeah.
Speedrunners are OP. They're amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
and
really
if
hoping that there are some changes made to the game that actually help uplift the speedrunning community more. And it's funny that both of you mentioned speedrunning, because that's something we'll talk about in a not a full speedrunning sense, but a new way, I guess you could say, to speedrun Borderlands 3 that people seem to be all crazy about. And we'll get to that in a little bit. Borderlands 3, it's available on PS5 and Xbox Series X. Go buy it. It's good. It's really, really good. It looks amazing, and it runs so buttery smooth. Bunkers and Badasses is coming. Some people were asking why it's in the title, because we're going to talk about it a little bit later for the IGN stream.
In
Tess
some
especially is
reveals.
excited for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, so
Yeah,
cool.
Tess got her first look at the character sheet, which you guys will be able to see in a little bit too. So I imagine she's going to nerd all the heck out about it. So I'm excited to hear what she has to say. Crossplay, crossplay.
Cosplay also.
Cosplay also, yes. Cosplay and crossplay are coming. Crossplay is something that has been much talked about and much wanted by the community. And I can assure you, if Gearbox says it's happening, it's happening. They do not make announcements like that without it being a real tangible thing. So I would expect that probably sometime very early, if not a little bit later in the new year. Mayhem 11, we've talked about it quite a bit, and we're probably going to talk about it again when we talk about Triple G's challenge and why Mayhem 10 and 11 both have their merits.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Pretty even. So.
Yeah.
It is. It's a very even split actually on the leaderboard.
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised that he chose to do both. Mm-hmm. It kind of makes sense, but I feel like it's interesting. It really opens up people's builds, Mayhem 10, like in certain ways that makes going faster and doing crazy things possible. But then plenty of people still are like, no, I'm going to use Mayhem 11. My build is like, my run will be cleaner that way. And so like the time gains versus the time losses, I guess, even out, because it is very much an even split. It's really cool.
And you get Speed Demon.
Yeah.
So
I think that's the big defining factor.
Yeah.
Speed Demon is probably one of the most beneficial mods out there right now, especially for the character that is probably most prominently featured on the leaderboard. Who is it? We'll tell you in a little bit. Hey, I call that a tease in the business. New on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X Performance Mode, which guarantees 120 FPS on TVs and monitors that are capable of doing so. That was such a cool addition that nobody knew was coming down the pipeline. They just dropped this on us about 2 or 3 weeks ago after the consoles went live, which was absolutely wild. And a patch was pushed very recently to the Nintendo Switch for all Borderlands 2 players that addressed lingering stability issues with the game. Thank God. That'll be great when I can fly one day again, hopefully very soon. Please, I miss being in the air.
Oh, vaccines.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Seriously. That'll be good. That'll be really good.
yeah.
Anyway.
This past week, Mystique, you are our guest. Obviously, we would love to hear from you first. What have you been doing in Borderlands lately?
Well, like I was saying before, I've been a little under the weather, but still been, grinding out some farms and like a few little arms race runs here and there on just off stream, and just kind of trying to get like the best rolls I possibly can. I'm still looking for that like perfect plasma coil. Action skill active plasma coil would be amazing if it's possible. I'm sure it's possible. I haven't seen it. I personally haven't seen one yet on my runs, but I really would like one because Iron Bear now, Iron Cub. I can finally use ASA annoyance with Moe's, and I made a action skill active only Moe's.
Nice.
And like I pretty much with all like the new stuff that they came out with, I was able to have Iron Cub up, and almost immediately upon shooting an enemy, the way I had it built, I got Iron Cub back immediately.
Nice. Yeah.
And then I would pop Iron Cub again. So I literally would always have my action skill active annoyance procced. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
It's such a nice change, I think, because that wasn't something that people could do with Moe's until Baby Bear. And now Baby Bear. And he's so cute. And
He is. He's adorable.
Yeah. It's the best. It's
so
the best.
cute.
Oh,
Mystique,
man.
when you were last here, if I recall correctly, and I think we've talked about this a couple times when you've stopped by on the streams, how do you feel right now about your garbage runs? So maybe let's back up a little bit for people who might be new to you specifically. You do something that you like to kind of call a garbage run, correct?
Yeah. So after I got back from the beach, which is where I was at when we did the first show the first time, I continued on with that. And I think when we last talked, I was on like just had finished or close to finishing the story. I'd finally finished the story, turned it up to like mayhem, like 1 or 2. And I was like, oh, this is going pretty good. Like I was actually getting some legendaries and whatnot. And I was like, oh, I can pump it back. I can pump it up to mayhem like 5 or whatever. And I screwed myself. But pretty much what the garbage run is I can only loot things from garbage sources, trash piles, garbage cans, anything that's out in like the open. So like refrigerators, abandoned refrigerators, toilets, pretty much just anything that doesn't come from an enemy or a chest for the most part. Can't use vending machines other than buying ammo and selling stuff. And it got to the point to where I was so hard pressed for good gear that I was in the very beginning part of like where you first start out after you've like got to like the little area where you do the Marcus mission and stuff like that. And I went over to Ellie's and just farmed the boxes and the dumpsters and the refrigerators and stuff, and ended up getting quite a few legendaries just from trash. I think I ended up getting like 5 or 6 legendaries within like an hour out of trash. Yeah.
What mayhem were you on?
Well, since I was farming and not fighting enemies, I bumped it up to 10.
It's very smart.
And then if I went and fought enemies, I kind of bumped it back down. And I was still having problems. Like, it just shows you like how much tuning vanilla guns still kind of need a little bit of that tuning, because I'm using Mayhem 10 guns on Mayhem 5 or Mayhem 6. And I was still having issues. Like I was still having problems killing things. So I was stressing myself out over this run.
You decided to do Borderlands Dark Souls style.
It felt like it. It felt like, and I can't even roll out of the way either.
Yeah.
Like I can't dodge. I'm like, well, if I'm hit, I'm done. I'm dead.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would say that guns need tuning so much as the sort of big, huge difference between legendaries and all the other guns, like
Right,
the
yeah.
cavern of difference that exists, right? Which I guess that should be the case,
Right.
but still, it's tough when you're
Yeah.
doing like something like a white only or a garbage run that just
Yeah.
makes it so difficult.
Because I would find like a TDR. I would find like a purple TDR that would outplay my legendary that I had. So I was just kind of like, man, like I've got all these really cool legendaries, but none of them are working. And I think it was just I wasn't getting the right guns. I was getting legendaries, but I wasn't getting the right legendaries for what I needed and whatnot. So, but Mayhem was tough. Mayhem was really tough on like garbage only run. But yeah.
When you say you want to see changes to other guns, what changes would you want to see? Like if they were going to make changes?
I think tuning was probably the wrong word. But just there are some like types of guns, like types of legendaries that in previous Borderlands, I loved using handguns and pistols and stuff like that. Like I loved using them, and I don't use them in Borderlands 3 as much. And I want to, because that's in Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2 and all kinds of other games. I steer towards the pistols. And I'm not doing that in 3, and it makes me sad.
Yeah. Is it because of the way you feel like they are shooting or the damage overall?
I think really the damage overall.
Okay.
For me, I wasn't, I don't feel like I'm doing, which I mean, it's a different game, but overall, but when I'm in Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3, I can run or Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, I can run the whole game with pistols if I wanted to.
Yeah, that's true. There are, I feel like there's
a few that can do it, but like none that like, I'm not a fan of like the Jacobs pistols and stuff that do decent damage, but I'm just not a fan of certain ones.
Yeah.
So.
I know Priest basically like counsels people to just go Jacobs. You'll never go back if you're doing anything like a one life or a challenge run or anything like that. Unless of course you're doing TD or Allegiance, in which case. But definitely those Jacobs pistols. My issue with them is they're not like 99% of them are not automatic, and I prefer automatic weapons because it's just easier on my wrist. So I feel your pain there. I wish that the Herald like that now exists in Borderlands 3 felt more like the Herald from Borderlands 2. Because it's just a very different feel of gun. And like overall, I feel like so when you say tuning, and maybe this is just like a term thing, and maybe I'm getting it wrong, I don't know. But when people say tuning, I think of the actual feel of firing the gun, like the feel of gunplay, which I actually think that 99% of guns Borderlands gets chef's kiss right. Yeah. Except for that Herald, that one.
Like the Herald, the Herald was obviously like so overpowered and amazing in 2, and it doesn't feel right. The way it kind of feels off, and I just and people brought up a good point, like Light Show, Hellshock Beacon, and those are literally the only pistols I use. But I want more. Like I want more variety with pistols. I want to be able to not have to use Light Show, Hellshock, Beacon, and Tizzy, because those literally are the are the ones I do use, because they are powerful and they are great and they do feel really, really, really good. But there are some other ones that I would love. My all-time favorite pistol in any Borderlands games is the Chimera.
Hey.
Nice.
Mine too.
I love that gun. It just, you can shoot any element randomly. Like it is one of the best guns that they've, in my opinion, that Borderlands has ever done. And I would really love for them to bring that gun back, because it felt really, really good. It felt really awesome in Borderlands.
Yeah.
Other Borderlands. So
yeah, somebody in chat is saying the Skexel, which is also a very good gun for sure. There are some, but I agree with you that I think they could use a little more buffs for pistols maybe someday. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I think the Herald, I don't think that it should feel like the Borderlands 2 Herald, because we have a lot of new guns and we want new guns to feel powerful. But I do wish it shot a little bit more like the old one.
Yeah. No, I agree. It feels weird and I don't want to use it. Yeah. Like, I think I picked one up just to say I had one.
Yeah, I have it still. It's like in my bank somewhere.
Yeah, it's in my bank. And I'm just like, oh, hi, you over there.
I don't think
nice
it just
to
fits.
See you again.
It doesn't fit nearly as much with the Borderlands 3 mold.
Yeah.
Just because Borderlands 2 explosive worked in a different way slightly.
Yeah.
And it was universally applicable to everybody. Like everybody could pick up a Herald and be fine with it, especially if it was a double penetrating uncamp Herald, obviously. But now the way Borderlands 3 works, the scaling is different. A lot of guns that were better in 2, they definitely tried to rein in in 3. I can't think of too many guns that were brought up to Borderlands 3 from 2 that retained their power. Like the Sandhawk is kind of an example, but the Sandhawk at the same time lost its ability to be a submachine gun in favor of being a sniper rifle. And the reason they did that was, and it's kind of a fair reason, was because the Sandhawk was so overpowered and it had almost basically an unlimited ammo capacity.
Right.
Like you had, I don't know what, 1,600, 2,000 bullets in reserve for your submachine gun. Now by making it a sniper rifle, they made it so that you only had 200 shots in reserve and it chewed through ammo very quickly. Was it strong? Yes, but there was a balance. You had to choose when you wanted to use it. And that sometimes feels good and sometimes feels bad. And I think the Herald is another example of a gun that was stronger then, and so they tuned it, and the way it tunes now just doesn't hold up with where we are in the game as it is.
Yeah, Lyuda too. Lyuda. Like I wish since they made Sandhawk into a sniper, I wish they would have made Lyuda into an SMG.
That would be insane. Lyuda SMG. Oh my god. That'd be crazy. That'd be so good.
It'd been interesting. So
I want to see a Lyuda SMG. That would be freaking crazy.
Yeah, they just need to change it. They just need to make it an SMG.
Yeah, I'd be so okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what have you been up to, Mitsu, in Borderlands this past week?
I was gonna say one of the things MystiqueSiren, you're talking about pistols a lot. I had the chance to play Arms Race this past week, obviously, because that's really all I'm doing these days because I love doing it. And one of the nice things is a lot of the pistols that we have just been talking about that don't necessarily feel very good in the main game feel incredible in Arms Race. I used the Roizen's Thorns.
Yeah.
Roizen's Thorns. Nobody even thinks about that gun. I think I used it like twice and didn't really understand it. And now it's like, wow, this game is fun. It's like a Chimera Light kind of, because it does incinerate and corrosive damage. It's like a little Maya gun too.
Yeah.
With Blight Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like this fun little gun that you don't usually get to use because nobody thinks about it. And then the companion. I use the companion. Not many people talk about that. And we were talking, I think, in the pre-show about Firefly references. There's your Firefly reference.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. So good. Yeah. I mean, all the guns just shine in Arms Race, and it's amazing. It's absolutely
I think that's
amazing.
why I enjoy Arms Race so much.
Yeah.
Is because I want to kind of feel that in the main campaign, or the main like Mayhem and stuff like that. Like I want to feel that. And I feel like that in Arms Race I hate dying and then losing all my stuff, obviously. Like, but that's just arms race, and you dust off and you go back in and hope that you didn't lose a god roll and try again. So
Yeah.
Oh boy. I've gotten lucky.
Yeah.
I haven't had to deal with any crushing losses yet. But I know that day is coming and it's gonna break my heart.
yeah.
It feels real nice. It feels real nice to be able to play arms race and really get to experience what I think they intended some of these guns to feel like when you pick them up and actually use them.
Yeah.
And that's why I really appreciate the scaling that comes with arms race. And yes, it does suck a little bit that there are no action skills. And yes, having no talent trees can sometimes be an issue. But you know what? On the flip side, now because the balancing is just around the guns that were meant to be strong feel strong. And so you feel rewarded when you get one. And that makes me happy. Also, God, I love the Maggie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Maggie's pretty good.
She's super strong.
Well, unlike you guys, I have not been playing a whole lot of arms race this past week because I've mostly been playing a little bit off stream just to test stuff. And so I actually ran through a couple of takedowns and things like that. I got some new technology. Huge thank you to AMD Gaming for sending me.
I saw.
Yeah, a 6800 XT GPU and a 5800X CPU and a really nice motherboard from ASRock, the Taichi X570. So one thing I did that was kind of dumb was when I got these things, I was like, well, since I'm putting these in my game PC before that had the nicest parts in the apartment, basically. So I was like, well, let me play musical chairs with all of my tech. And so I put my old parts into Rob's PC, and then I put some of his old parts, which were also really nice, into my stream PC. And that basically meant everything broke. Like everything broke. So I've been dealing with a little bit of tech issues. Not on the new computer. The new computer is a dream. It's a dream. It's just everything else. But everything else is mostly fixed now, so it's fine. But so I haven't had as much chance to play. I'm actually going to be doing Arms Race later today after Ultimate Vault Hunter, which is airing today at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Liz and Birdman talk about Boyo Yaga, a Zane build. I don't know why I said clone. Anyway, very, very, very cool episode coming up today. And afterwards, I'll be streaming and I'll be doing some Arms Race runs. It'll be good. I'm excited. But yeah, that computer is, especially with Borderlands, but because that's all I've really had a chance to test it with. But definitely, Borderlands was built on AMD powered machines, so it runs it so well. It's ridiculous. So I'm excited. I'm very excited.
I need you to give me a God Roll Plasma Coil, please.
I will try. Okay. I'll try my best. I need to use the map and actually specifically go for it because I haven't had very many drop. I had one drop for me and one was sent to me by a viewer, and so I have two. And they're good, but they're not like, I don't think they're God Roll. And I would love a God Roll Plasma Coil because Plasma Coil is an amazing, amazing gun.
So good.
So yeah.
Amazing.
What I'm hearing, Mystique, is you're going to be there for the extraction event when you get one.
Yes.
Yes.
100%. 100%.
Yeah,
That
so
was my
later today.
understanding.
You didn't pull through for me yesterday, Mitsu. I'm sorry.
I just do not have that kind of luck. I think I've gotten consecutive hit ones. I don't think I've gotten an ASA Splash 200 yet, and I want one.
Me too.
One very badly.
Yeah.
Because
It'll destroy on Amara. It'll destroy on Moe's. Like, it'll destroy on anybody. But those two, it's gonna, especially with the ball with Amara.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
So good. So good. Yeah. Speaking of amazing things, there's some craziness going on in the community. Triple G, who is now triple_G, there's no more Z on Twitch. I'm going to put up a link to his stream in the Twitch chat. You can check him out. He's awesome. He wants you to see how fast you can go. G's challenged the community to a new endgame race to see how fast you can beat all the current endgame content in Borderlands 3. You may do so on Mayhem 10 or 11, but since 11 does not feature modifiers, some of which can be beneficial while others detrimental, this is considered an equal playing ground. So basically what he's doing is asking the community to submit times with proof to show that they've completed all of this content. Now, the rules are you have to complete all 6 proving grounds and complete the Molly 1 takedown and the Guardian takedown on true takedown mode. You have to play on Mayhem 10 or Mayhem 11. You cannot do any skips. So no skips, no glitches, none of that. For balancing issues and a level playing field for all characters, the complex root sniper rifle is not allowed. That's the only gun that's not allowed. And that's it. And it's really, 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 really cool.
You want to bring up that leaderboard?
Yep, right there.
Oh, boy.
These are the current standings as of about an hour and a half ago.
Yes.
Garwood had just, I think 2 hours ago, maybe, Garwood had hit that 125, like 1 hour and 25 minute and 45 second run, which is insane. That's insane.
We're getting to a point, and I'm sure everybody can see the leaderboard here. We're getting to a point in it already where now splits are coming down to seconds and not minutes, and I think that's why Triple G, who is running the event, put that on his time leaderboards here. Let's see, who do we have? We have in first place right now, and this is the most recent update as far as we can tell. Garwood is in first place with a time of 1 hour 24 minutes 45 seconds using a spam that ass build for Zane on Mayhem 10. Yes, that is exactly what Garwood calls it. TBJ Quag in second, was in first place as of I think a few hours ago, but has been dethroned for now. Is in second at 1 hour 33 minutes using the rack stab build on Mayhem 10 as Flak. Ancient Rune in third place, just 1 minute behind Quag at 1 hour 34 minutes using the Mantis stab build on Mayhem 11. See, Mayhem 10, Mayhem 11, both are being used here on Zane. And rounding out the top 5 are not 1, but 2 entries from our very own Lazy Data at 1 hour 36 minutes and 1 hour 38 minutes for Punch Bear Mose on Mayhem 11 and URAD Flak on Mayhem 10, respectively.
I need to try this Punch Bear build. I'm so curious.
We should have him on UVH and have him talk about it.
Yeah.
There, that's what we got to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
We should try to have maybe the winner or the winners or the top 3 or something on Bordercast and or UVH at some point also. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Things to consider for the new year. This event is going on until December 20th. December 20th. So you do have some time because what is today? Today is the 10th. So you got 10 days. 10 days to go ahead and piece together your build and submit it. And for those of you who might be wondering how you could go about submitting such a thing, please feel free to leave it on Triple G's Twitter or his YouTube video comments section, which you can find links to, I'm sure, in the description section at the end of this show. Triple_GZ1 on Twitter, and you can also find a link to his YouTube as well. We are also proud to announce that after having spoken with him about the event, next week on the program, we will have Triple G right here to talk about Endgame Rush further. I would love to hear what caused him to come on to this new idea and what he's been doing to kind of like verify some of these runs and the entire process that goes into it, and maybe even a little bit of who he thinks might actually wind up taking it by the end of it. See if he can share some speculation as to what the progenitor of this idea came up with and wants to say.
It's such a great event. I love seeing, Bad Karma was talking in chat about how much he loves seeing community focused events like this. Same here. I'm super excited for the hunt when that happens. I think sometime early in the new year is the plan. That's going to be so cool. But yeah,
so
I love that this is happening. Definitely excited for that too. I love hearing about stuff like this. So if you guys have any plans or any ideas or anything like that, let us know on Twitter, Test Games on Twitter, Mitsu Show on Twitter. Definitely anytime, tweet at us and let us know if you have cool event ideas too.
Garbage run only. How fast can you get to Mayhem 10?
Good luck.
I mean, why not?
Good luck. Yeah.
Soul style Borderlands.
Ooh, yeah.
I like
For
it.
Garbage Run, if you're doing that, then are you allowed to use action skills? Because you could still kind of cheese it and go on Mose. Because Mose, as soon as you finish the game and can turn on Mayhem modes, all you have to do is hop in Iron Bear and give Iron Bear nukums, and you just win.
It would be problematic. It would. We would have to be like, I don't know. We'd have to come up with some type of rules. But
Yeah.
I would hate to be like, sorry, no Moses, Amara only, or like
Yeah.
Amara needs more love anyways. So
She does. It's funny because I feel like her current purple tree is one of the most fun things like
it's so
you
much
can
fun.
experience. It's amazing. But
Yeah.
more people are playing Moze, more people are playing Zane, more people are playing Flack. And I don't think that this is commentary on Amara really. I just think that how interesting the changes have been for those other characters is why that is. That's kind of my guess. For me, I played so much Amara for so long and I love her and I definitely am going to play her more, especially once I can kind of get my fill of arms race, although I don't think that's ever going to happen. I love arms race. But I'm definitely going to put some more time into Amara's purple tree just because it's so fun to punch the ball and run around with it and everything. But yeah, I mean, Moze, I just kind of like discovered Moze recently, even though obviously she's been in the game this whole time. And I love her and I love her so much.
Yeah.
Baby bear.
Yeah, she like Mose tore me away from Amara when Iron Cub came out, and but I did an Amara build where I utilized most of the purple tree, and I just went in the slaughter shaft and was just pinging and just booping every enemy, and they were just exploding, and it was the most fun. I was using plasma coil. I did an ASE 200% plasma coil.
Nice.
And which is pretty good. Still not perfect, but pretty good. And it was, I mean, I was destroying everything. It was amazing. It was so much fun. But yeah, Iron Cubs is awesome too. And so is the other ones. They did an amazing job with these force skill trees.
Yep.
Because before I didn't really care about playing Flack. And I liked Flack and I liked Zane, but I mainly liked Amara and Mose. So to tear me away from those two, they did a good job.
Yeah.
Quite a feat, if you will.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Definitely.
It's worth pointing out, and it's not scientific, obviously, what we're looking into here, but looking at this top 12 list that we have for Endgame Rush, Zane is featured in 6 of those builds. Mose is featured in 3, Flack is featured in 2, and Amara is featured in 1. And it makes me think of where we were when Borderlands first started. And last year, I had the pleasure of being able to do a casting event at TwitchCon with Brittany Johnson, the face of Angel. And the two of us were casting an event where they did Proving Grounds runs. And it was, everybody had splits. So you would try and beat each Proving Ground in the fastest time possible, cut your split, and then whoever had the lowest time won like $10,000 or $20,000 between everybody on the team.
Wow, that's awesome.
Our own Eddie Monster actually took part in that tournament as well. And I believe so did Damn It to Hell. They were on the same team.
Yeah, I think I do remember this, yes.
Yeah,
Very cool.
And so I remember what those team compositions were, and I think the winning team was like 4 Flacks or 3 Flacks and Amara. And I want everybody to think about where we were then compared to where we are now. And yes, it's a little anecdotal, but look how much the list has now changed in what is considered to be, at least in this top section, the best Vault Hunter. Everybody's represented, but now Zane, who was basically discarded for these kinds of speed runs, is now featured out of half of the top 12 right now for this speed running endgame community challenge event.
Yeah.
I think it's just fascinating to me. I know I'm kind of like maybe just pointing out an obvious fact here, but it's just like a little bit of a history lesson and then kind of being like, all right, well, here we are now. This is what everything looks like. They really made improvements to Zane that make Zane really in Zane.
Yeah, there's hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Zanes.
Yes.
Out of these, and
yeah, so half of them are Zanes.
Yeah, 1 Amara, a few Flacks, and several Moses. But definitely Zane is apparently the key.
The premier.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder if it's necessarily a damage thing, which it partially could be, but also because Zane has the capability to run from each location as fast as possible.
Oh yeah, I definitely think that has something to do with it. I mean, like the next one after him is like Flack is the next one, and then Mose is the next one, and Hellzerker Amara is up there. I think because she also can go fast, And because Lazy Dad is just OP. I mean, he's on here
Well,
multiple times because he's just amazing and OP. But yeah, I mean, Zane is like come out as the man on top recently, and it's really cool.
I'm surprised of the Punch Bear. Like that would be the last build I would have expected on this list
Yeah.
to be up there.
Yeah. To be fourth.
So, yeah. Like and Lazy did I think 2 Mayhem 11s and 1 Mayhem 10. And I kind of want to like pick his brain to like figure out what decision making he had going into that to figure out which one he was going to do.
The one that's Mayhem 10 is the flak, which is really interesting. Yeah.
Because I thought crit damage, if you could get a crit damage modifier, then Mayhem 11 would have probably been better. But I'm wondering, and I'm also wondering like what everyone else did, like because everyone obviously did Speed Demon, I'm sure. But then what did everyone else do? Like I kind of want to like pick everyone's brains.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a worthy conversation to have when we have the leaders or the winners, I should say, of the competition, because I'm sure we will love to have whoever those top 3 would be on the program, I should say, to be able to be a part of the show and kind of just talk about them, because there are a lot of people here on this list that we actually have not yet had on that I know there are a lot of community members who have been asking for. Garwood is one of them. Quag is one of them. Ancient Rune's been on the up and up. We've had conversations with Cheese. So there are a lot of people. And Newt Mad, I remember Newt Mad. I had a conversation with him very recently as part of the Borderlands Discord. Part of the Borderlands Discord. They're doing their own little show these days, kind of highlighting streamers, both big and small, and content creators in general, which was really cool to be a part of. And he's hilarious. I actually like him a lot. He was super cool. So to have him on the program would also be really, really nice. But yes, next week we will have G on to have a conversation about all that. That would be absolutely wonderful.
All of this awesomeness going on. We'll see if that time can be beat that Garwood posted today. I mean, they have 10 more days, so I foresee things. But these are insane times for all that content. Like totally insane times. Totally insane.
Yeah. So
I'm still amazed by Punch Bear. Like I'm just like my mind is just blown right now because I'm like Punch Bear. You know,
So it makes perfect sense. I'm with you there, because how are you doing bosses with that?
Yeah. We'll see.
I might try, as well as doing Arms Race later today, I might try and grab Punch Bear from Lazy Dada.
Yes, please.
And check it out, because I'm so curious, and I love trying people's builds.
Too.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Cool. All right.
So, Tess.
I'm so excited to talk about this. Oh my God. Okay, so I haven't really looked at it yet, mostly because I kind of wanted to be surprised with you guys. Give me just 1 second to...
While you're getting that set up, yes. Bunkers and Badasses. IGN recently gave a exclusive first look at Bunkers and Badasses, a new tabletop game from Nerdvana Games in conjunction, of course, with Gearbox, hosted by Bunker Master and lead writer Randy Varnell. The show features characters played by David Wald, who many of you may know as Wainwright Jacobs, who plays a Gunzerker class. Zara Vazal, who plays Amara in Borderlands, who in this case played a Siren. Very apropos.
Yeah.
Morgan Webb, who you may know from G4 TV, who played and this is true, a Valley Girl voiced assassin named like No in place of Zero. And IGN's Michael Swaim, who played Axton, a soldier class. So, Tess, if you happen to have that available for the people, we have a copy of one of the character sheets that you will be able to utilize while playing Bunkers and Badasses. And this thing is incredible. Please, by all means, you are the D&D expert, Tess. What is this sheet that we are looking at right here?
So basically, I'm just zooming in so everybody can see it as clearly as possible. So this is a character sheet, right? So when you play any sort of action RPG kind of game, which Borderlands is that to a degree, like so Borderlands, the base franchise, You have characters and you have builds for those characters, and RPGs generally work that way. However, with like a tabletop RPG or some RPGs that allow you to create your own character, there's more to it even. And there's all kinds of different stats that affect like everything that you do in the game. Now, when you play tabletop, it's up to the DM how much you sort of follow the rules, because ultimately they may want you to kind of focus more on the story. They may want to focus on the experience for everyone. And so the rules basically are entirely up to the DM, but they have this core to work with. And anytime anybody's unsure about something, like you're not sure about what decision you want to make about a thing, or you get into conflict with somebody or some enemy and you're like fighting them, you basically roll dice to decide what will happen. And your dice rolls are based on all of these different stats. So this is a character sheet that you'll fill out when you're playing Bunkers and Badasses that will allow you to set up your character and get all of their like basic stats figured out, so that when you're fighting someone or when you're having a conversation and trying to persuade someone or trying to intimidate someone or something like that, you can refer back to this and roll some dice and figure out what happens next. And so it adds an element of randomness to this kind of like story focused role play experience, and it's really 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 cool. This character sheet looks amazing. There's of course initiative and movement speed. Mastery, interesting. Action skill, so you get to choose an action skill and choose how much damage you do. Very, very cool. There's different backgrounds. So a lot of tabletop RPGs will have kind of like pre-chosen backgrounds that you can, so you don't have to like come up with a backstory for your character. There'll be a bunch of different options that you can use. And you can, decide how your character is going to look. You can name them. You can give them an age. You can make up your own backstory. You definitely don't have to use the backstories within the book, but you can use the backstories within the book because they're probably pretty interesting. I'm really curious what this hidden past one is all about. And then you decide your stats. And so sometimes you roll for your stats too. I don't know whether or not you'll be doing that in this game, but it looks like probably. So you can roll for like your accuracy and your damage and your speed and your mastery. And so you take your dice, which I'm sure the Bunkers and Badasses, in fact, I'm almost positive that Bunkers and Badasses, the set will come with a set of dice. And
yes, and the badass dice too. Which
they're sweet.
That thing is amazing.
It's really cool. It's this giant die, and it's going to do crazy things, I'm sure. This
They're
is
beautiful.
so cool. The skills. I'm looking at the skills.
Yeah,
too.
so I was like that too.
Yeah.
Because it's a siren, and I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
Siren,
so
did you,
cool.
so there are 4 skills here. Did you want to read a couple of them out for the people?
Sure, yeah. So we've got Ward. Siren gains +5 max shields. I'm not sure what some of this stuff means. MST +10 shield recharge.
That's probably that's mastery.
Mastery. Yeah, that makes
Okay.
sense. That makes sense. I'm bad at the shortening of words. Accelerate. Siren gains +1 speed and +1 SL on traverse checks. I'm not sure what that means, but cool. And Sweet Release. When Siren kills a phase-locked enemy, gain 1 orb. What is SL? I'm really curious. Each orb moves 3. Yeah, it's probably on here somewhere.
Somewhere on the list.
Siren. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. I'm sure it's all in the book. But yeah, so you gain some stats, you gain some health, it looks like, and then Flicker. Siren gains mastery +10%, element chance on elemental weapons, and +1 SL on sneak checks. I really feel like it's on here and I'm just blind and not seeing it.
yeah, I'm looking too, and I can't find it.
Yeah, but so there's a melee die, a badass rank. Of course, you have some gold. Initiative, which generally tends to decide like the order of turns. So like when you, let's say your party, your group that you're playing with is off on an adventure in the worlds of the Borderlands, right? And you encounter some badass enemies and they attack you. One thing that your DM is going to have you do, or your BM, your bunker master, I believe it's called in this game.
Yes.
So they're going to have you roll for initiative, and that will decide who goes first, whether you go first or the bad guys go first, or like of your party, who goes in what order. And that changes things sometimes because let's say, you've got a siren, but she has to go last. That means she can't phase lock all the bad guys for the rest of you. But if she can go first, if she rolls well on initiative, then, and it's apparently affected by her badass rank, which is super cool. I can see that in the little sheet. So if her badass rank is pretty high and she rolls for initiative really high, she can phase lock, and then the damage output of all the other party members will probably be significantly higher, or their chances of doing better damage will be higher or something like that. So it's really cool. It's a really, really cool sheet. I want to know more. I'm so excited for this to be here. I just can't wait for it.
I found out what SL means. It means skill level.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, it's right there. I'm
It's
just
right
blind.
there. I know. I was like,
Yeah.
it's right there.
Literally right there. Skill
yeah.
level.
Skill level.
That's
Yes.
blind.
The action skill is fascinating too. For you D&D nerds, this is going to be incredible the way that this actually sounds, and it's so well designed because it's literally how you would think phase lock would be in Borderlands. Action skill phase lock: a siren locks an enemy in a sphere of energy, preventing the enemy from taking action turns for 2 turns. If an enemy cannot be phase locked for any reason, they instead take 3d6 cryo damage per turn. Mastery
cool.
divided by day plus once per encounter cryo damage if they take the cryo damage. Targets hit by cryo are slowed, much like they would be in the game.
Nice.
Slow targets have their movement speed reduced to 1 square for 1 turn.
And so the 3d6, for anybody that's unfamiliar with D&D or rolling dice and stuff like that in tabletop RPGs, that just means 3 6-sided dice.
Yes.
Right? So you're rolling 3 dice, and they're d6, meaning they're 6-sided dice. So basically each die has 1 to 6, and then you combine all of that to decide the damage. And then you can do like 1d10, 2d20, depending on the game that you're playing, it changes. So 3d6 is what would happen if you phase locked, which is really cool.
Yes. So it's very comprehensive.
Yeah.
This really does have everything you could possibly want. You were asking about hidden past, by the way.
Yeah, it's written
Backgrounds and
here.
traits actually listed here. Hidden past: you are either not sure where your power comes from, or you aren't planning on opening up about it anytime soon. You get a +1 to speed, but you lose 2 on your insight checks. However, there is a trait that this particular siren has called "Got a Bad Feeling About This," where you can tell when stuff's about to go sideways, where you get a +5 on danger insight checks.
That's so
there
cool.
seems to be layers upon layers to the different ways these things can actually go down. And I'm sure the guidebook will give more insight to that as time goes on. I can't wait to see exactly what that specifically is.
I
Yeah.
love Swift. I
Yeah.
love the Swift one.
That
Yell
sounds so
parkour.
cool.
It
Yeah.
says they can't stop you if they can't catch you. Feel free to yell parkour whenever you roll for traverse checks. Because I would totally do that. I would just be running around yelling parkour the whole time.
Yes.
This is
I
a character
love
for
it.
you. What a surprise. MystiqueSiren wants to play a siren.
Yeah.
Who could have foreseen?
It definitely is a character I would love to, because if you look at their favorite weapon, which I wonder what effect that has, but you get to choose a favorite weapon, and the one chosen for her is an SMG, which is the best weapon in the game.
Yeah.
In any video game. Just saying. SMGs are life. So
What a surprise.
Yeah.
I saw the box checked, and I knew you were going to say something. I knew it. Knew it.
Yes.
I love them. I can't help it.
Malawan. Got to be a Malawan.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah,
Or
that's true.
Tevior. Or Hyperion.
Yeah.
So the nice thing is this affords a very unique opportunity for them to bring back the Hellfire the way it should be in
Yes.
Borderlands 1. Because you can create whatever guns you want if you're the bunker master. And if I'm a bunker master, I'm bringing back the Hellfire for whatever siren is in my party, because I want to see him go crazy with some dot damage.
Yeah.
Can we bring back the Chimera?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can do it.
So it's funny you mention that, and I know we're getting a little off topic on this one,
Yeah.
but it's worth pointing this out. Do you remember who made the Chimera?
I'm actually not sure.
Oh
It's
gosh.
gonna blow your minds.
No, hold on. Oh god, I'm picturing it in my brain, like in my head, and
You ready?
yeah,
It's gonna like blow your mind. Right?
probably.
It's Atlas.
It
Really?
is Atlas. Yes.
Wow.
Atlas made the Chimera.
Interesting.
So
There needs to be
remember-
more Atlas weapons in the game, by the way.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, especially Atlas pistols too, which
Yeah.
might be why they're a little hesitant to bring back the Chimera. I'm not, I'm just not I have no idea. But how do you bring back, because it was a hand cannon too.
Yeah.
How do you bring back an Atlas themed hand cannon to Borderlands 3 when Atlas weapons in Borderlands 3 are nothing like what they were in Borderlands 1?
Yeah.
Nothing like they were in
pretty
Borderlands.
different.
You buff them.
You have tracker darts and tracker bullets and everything on the cut. Like, how do you integrate the old Chimera, like a Jacob's hand cannon, basically, with this new advanced tracking system, and then also retain that elemental feel of it, where every shot did a different elemental type of damage?
I mean, you can make it. I mean, I guess you could make it legendary because I mean, legendary guns have, you know, those special hidden abilities, and that special hidden ability could just be that it's awesome and does all kinds of damage.
That's hidden special abilities. It just kicks ass.
Yeah, just
It's just boss. I like it. I like it. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I mean, Borderlands 3 is a significant upgrade and difference on a lot of manufacturers and a lot of like the feels of guns and things like that. Gunplay in Borderlands 3, in my opinion, is one of the most incredible feeling experiences in gunplay in modern games, and it's awesome. So, I mean, I think overall the changes have been far, far for the better. But some manufacturers could use a little bit of a boost. Maybe.
Yes.
Just some love. They need love too.
Yeah.
And again, that's why I like Arms Race, though.
Yeah.
True.
Arms Race allows every manufacturer on some level with at least one type of weapon to shine. COV weapons are just super strong in Arms Race right now. Even a white COV pistol will carry you further than some other like blues and purples. It's wild.
The assault rifle COVs are.
Yeah. They're real
Oh
strong.
man, they're good.
Doll sniper rifles. If you get some of the green doll sniper rifles, actually really hurt.
Yep.
Like real well. And I'm sorry, I just can't talk enough about. I know we're getting off topic again, but I
it's
love
just
it
so good
because it's nice to see the guns shine. We've always talked about builds. We've always talked about action skills. The guns, as much as we love them, tend to fall by the wayside a little bit. We talk about them, but we know that they're usually only enhanced by our builds. Now we're talking about just the guns shining on their own, and I love doing it.
I'm just putting the link to the Bunkers and Badasses real quick before we completely move away into the chat. I'll also add it to the podcast description section if you guys would like to pre-order it. The pre-order bonus price of $99 is now over, unfortunately. So it costs $119.99 US dollars to get Bunkers and Badasses. This includes this is the deluxe edition. It includes everything you need. It's like a beautiful case for it with the dragon from the beautiful, beautiful original DLC. You've got the Dungeon Master's like shield of safety, and it's with some gorgeous art on it. And then, of course, your die, your badass die, and all of your other dice, and some really cute models that I'm sure will be paintable too. So definitely looking forward to all this stuff. I can't wait for it to be here. I want them to like just send. Can we have, please?
Yeah,
please.
I've never played any D&D ever.
Really?
And I've watched Tess with your, what's it called?
So I do too. There's a vampire one that I do on Sheepdog Gaming's YouTube. Yeah, that's on Mondays. And then I do Rime of the Frost Maiden, where I am a dragonborn, a silver dragonborn. That one is on Table Story, and it's amazing. That's actually
the one I
Fridays
caught.
at 5. Yeah,
it was really cool. Super cool. Like everyone was dressed up and like had accents, and I loved it, and it was awesome. But no, I've had people like ask me if I wanted to do D&D, but like I've always been like, oh no, take away from like my other stuff that I'm doing. I don't know if I'll enjoy it, and then I would hate to leave and say sorry, I don't like, but it's Borderlands, so I can tell you right now I'm gonna like it.
Yeah,
because I own everything that's Borderlands. So
I think the thing about it that so like I also kind of, when people first were like, you should do D&D, you might like it, and I was like, I don't know, so I'm very visual, right? I'm very visual and very like I like immersive experiences. And so I before I ever tried it, I kind of like saw it as this thing where it's all written down and there's like it's all none of it's there's no immersion, right? Which is totally not the case. It can actually be incredibly immersive, especially if the people that you're playing with choose to use video and choose to do cosplay and choose to do effects and accents and things like that. Like when people get really into the RP, it can be an incredible experience. And if you have a good GM or BM or DM, whatever you want to call them, and they play music too, like 100% when we play this, I'm going to choose some Borderlands music from the amazing original soundtracks and include it, and have the players able to listen to it, because I think that makes the atmosphere so much like more intense and makes you feel like you're there. Like one of the things that I really, really love that I super admire about both Table Story and Sheepdog Gaming, their audio is like, their whole production quality is incredible, but their audio is insane. Like Wax Steven just makes us feel like we're there in this frozen tundra, and it's so cool.
Yeah, like when I was watching the IGN, there was a butt tower.
A butt tower?
There was a butt tower.
Excuse me?
I listen. You just gotta watch it. There's a butt tower with a fart room.
I don't believe you.
And why would I make this up? There is a butt tower with a fart room, and if you get farted on, you have the stink on you for the rest of the game.
That's such a good Borderlands thing.
And Randy was like making had a soundboard, and he was doing like fart noises with it, and I mean, he did an amazing job. It was really, really awesome.
You know what?
And even he even drew a butt on the little map thing. Yeah.
I'm trying to process this, but it's not really working out very well for me. Because they're Brad Jackson in the chat says roll to see who dealt it.
I like it. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It was a good time.
No.
It was awesome. And yeah, he was doing that same thing. He was like playing music and doing sound effects, and it made it a lot more in depth and fun. So 100% we'll be playing.
Whenever it is, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I want to do a bunch of it here on this channel. I want to see other sort of showrunners do it on other channels. And of course, I've told all of my tabletop RPG people about it, and I hope, or friends about it, and I hope they pick it up. And I want to like be in all the campaigns. Obviously, I can't be in that many, but I hope to see it spread across the galaxies and the Borderlands and the lands of Twitch. Yeah,
there are 6 of them though. Yeah. So we've got plenty of opportunities. There's a lot of room for new things to do. I just think it'll be really fun, and I can see, like, I know a bunch of our teammates are already super into it, and I know a bunch of like awesome Borderlands creators that aren't teammates are super into it. So I'm just excited to see what people do with it. I know Vanderforge, I think, was saying he was going to do a show, and like people that have never done D&D but are into Borderlands are excited for this. So I'm just excited to get more new people into it. I agree. It's going to bring a whole new realm of tabletop gaming to the forefront. All right. We are pressed for time. MystiqueSiren, I wanted to say thank you so much for joining the program today.
Thank you.
Every time. It's so wonderful to have you back here. We will have to see about having you back on the show at some point for, you said you wanted to pick content creators' brains when it came to how they actually had these builds come down.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a wonderful fit for you to come on and maybe ask a few questions with
I'm full of questions.
Absolutely.
I love to talk. So
I love people who are full of questions.
Yeah.
I enjoy I think one of the things that we haven't had yet, and I'm really excited for what the future of the show will hold, is when the guests come on, they sometimes get a little scared to interact with each other. Mm-hmm. And so it's something I want to kind of encourage in the new year.
Yeah.
So if you want to come on and have that conversation with the winners, we would love to help facilitate that as best as we can.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. Really cool. No, I've been trying to watch everybody and get to pick their brain as much as I can, but it's tough.
Yeah.
Life gets in the way, but yeah, no, that would be awesome. Be super awesome.
Yeah. Agreed.
We'll talk about that afterwards, but we would love to
Sounds
have you
good.
back for it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right. Mystique, where can they find you?
It's MystiqueSiren everywhere. You can't mess it up.
Yeah.
It's Mystique like X-Men, Siren like a wee woo. And
That's great.
and I almost ripped my earbuds out. But yeah, so just Mystique is
I think you broke Mitsu.
Good
Good job.
Yes. It means I'm on the team now, right? No, just kidding. But yeah, MystiqueSiren everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. And I always post whenever I go live on Twitter. So you can catch me live Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
Very cool.
Neat.
Very cool.
Tess, where can they find you?
I was just gonna say the same thing to you, but
Beat ya.
I got something special, so I gotta wait till the end tonight.
okay, fair. Right here on the Borderlands channel a lot of the time, and also on my channel at twitch.tv/Tessachka. It's just Tessa, TESSACHKA, and on Twitter at Tess Games. I will be streaming here later today after Ultimate Vault Hunter, which is at 4 p.m. Eastern, with the beautiful, amazing Liz, aka Sh55, and Birdman, 778. Believe, right? And he's showcasing Boyo Yaga, which is a very cool themed build. So I'm really excited for you guys to check it out. It's going to be a cool episode, and then I'll be streaming here afterwards. And then tomorrow I am on Table Story. It's literally twitch.tv/Table Story for Rime of the Frost Maiden. That is at 5 p.m. Eastern.
Alrighty, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Twitch.tv/Mitsu. That's me. And tonight is a very special evening. This Thursday, December 10th, the Game Awards at 7 p.m. Eastern. I will be going live on my personal channel about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every now and again, and I don't think you guys know this, I get mad about video games. And when it comes to things like E3, which Tess and I did a coverage of 2 years ago, we did not get to do it this year.
Wow.
Well, maybe 1.5. Because remember, we didn't get to do it this year because there was no E3 this year. And last year we did it because there was a reveal at E3 for Borderlands, which we did a special edition of the show right here involving it. So cool. I'm going to go live on my channel, as I occasionally do, and I'm going to see if they maybe gave the awards to the right people. No, because I have opinions. And I like to get mad about them every now and again. So if you are interested in my hard-hitting, incisive commentary on the state of our industry, please, twitch.tv/Mitsu. I am looking forward to seeing all of you there. If not, whatever. You never mind. I appreciate you guys either way. So that's what I'll be doing. That's it. Cool. That's all I got.
Very cool. I actually really want to see that. I'm curious. So we'll stop by. That'll be awesome. And yeah, you guys, thank you so much for joining us. For everybody in chat, MystiqueSiren, thank you so much. Mitsu, you're awesome. Thank you guys for being here and hanging out with us. Thank you for listening to the show, for watching. If you're on YouTube, if you would, Steam or Facebook as well. If you guys would like to, make sure to subscribe, get notifications set up on Twitch, Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn, YouTube Music, and Stitcher. Not Google Music, YouTube Music. Oh,
YouTube Music
finally
now.
Changed.
YouTube Music. The change was a little while ago, and there is no such thing as Google Music anymore, and I know that because it breaks my heart.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. Because YouTube Music exists and it's still there, and basically whatever platform you prefer, you can listen to the podcast on. And of course, here on Twitch in 2 weeks at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Wait, 2 weeks? No, next week.
Is it? No, we are doing it next. That's right.
Yeah.
We are doing next week, but we will not be here for a Christmas episode, but we are going to have a very special conversation about an episode on perhaps New Year's Eve week, if not New Year's Eve itself, that we are very much looking forward to. And you will hear more information about that next week on the show. Yeah.
So we will be back next week. The following week, there won't be a Bordercast, but there will be an Ultimate Vault Hunter. And
Correct.
then the following week we return with Bordercast. It'll be really cool. So if we don't see you, we hope you have a good holiday, but hopefully we'll see you next week.
Yes, please. So, with all of that, on behalf, let me try that again. On behalf of Tess, myself, and the entire content creation team, thank you so much for joining us as you every single week. Now go forth and make some mayhem.